Welcome to Positive Power with Michele Dionne. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you've had a fantastic week. I know I've had a great week, and I have a fantastic story to share with you today. We're just going to talk about one story, but it is an absolutely awesome story that I think is worth sharing. And you know, it's funny, we just went through Valentine's Day, and quite often people get caught up into the relationship part of Valentine's because, you know, Cupid and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's all about love, right? And loving yourself is so important. And doing what's important for you and following your heart, whatever makes your heart hum, that's what's important that you do. So I was going on to the Good News Network looking for some articles to talk about today. And I came up with this fantastic story. And it's about a 90-year-old woman from northern Michigan, and her name's Norma. And what has happened to her? Wow, she's had an adventurous life. Absolutely. She's 90 years old. And she was with the same gentleman for 60 years. She was married for well over 50 years. And he died recently. Unfortunately, he passed away of illness. And he was also, you know, approaching 90 years old. And so he passed away, and in a very short period after he passed, she actually was having some issues herself, and she found out that she had cancer, and she was terminal. So the doctors sat her down with her adult children, and went through all the spiel of all the options, so the radiation, the chemo, possible surgery, everything. She's 90 years old, you know, so she took this in, and she looked at her life, and did some self-reflection herself. You know, she's 101 pounds, 5 feet tall, so, you know, very small, petite woman, and 90 years old. And so she knew, being realistic, that all those things were going to be very hard on her body. And myself personally, from the studies that I've done and reading and the things, I find them all controversial. You know, so some people go for them and do the whole thing. Other people go a different route, and that's what Norma did. So what she did is she turned around, she told her doctor, no thank you, I'm not doing that. My husband's passed, I'm 90 years old, I might not make it through all that stuff, so I have an RV, and I am going to travel, and just whatever happens is whatever happens. So that's what she did. So she turned around, packed up her RV, and she decided she was going to take it on the road. And people have stayed in contact with her. And it's been 6 months so far. And she is doing fantastic. She's actually thriving. Her signs of cancer have reduced. She's feeling no pain at all. And she's been doing wonderful things that she's always wanted to do and never had the opportunity to do. And she's doing them alone. She's doing them with friends. She's doing them with family. So she's been exploring national parks all over the U.S. She's gone 12,000 feet above sea level in the Rocky Mountains, and then gone the opposite. She's gone below sea level and gone and ventured into New Orleans. What a wonderful experience. She's also gone over Florida in a hot air balloon. What a wonderful thing that is, and what a great experience. And I just think of the ripple effect that she's teaching her children, her grandchildren, 90 years old, maybe her great-grandchildren, about truly living your life and doing what makes your heart hum. And she's doing this for her. And, you know, wow, it is just such an awesome, amazing story. And when people ask her how she stays positive, her reply is, just keep going every day. And that's about it. She keeps it simple and focuses on the now, and that is so important because, you know, stress leads to a lot of illnesses. So she's removed a lot of the stress. Imagine how stressful it would be at 90 years old to be going through all those procedures, and plus knowing the ripple effect of stress on her family, her kids, having to visit her and see her, you know, get weak and in pain, and if she lost her hair or whatever. So she chose to go a completely different route. And now she's reaping these wonderful benefits, and I believe she's probably extending her life because she's removed the stress. She's probably talking to her husband all the time because, you know, if she's of the beliefs that he is still with her, that's what people that tend to believe that tend to do, right? I do that. I talk to people that passed all the time. and they can't argue with me. So there you go. But I thought it was a wonderful story, and I thought it really reflected on how important it is for you as an individual, whether you have illnesses or you don't have illnesses, to just do what makes you feel good. Do what makes your heart hum. You know, there's parts of life that are never going to change. You're always going to have bills to pay. You're always going to have, you know, a roller coaster of things happening to you, good and bad. Life happens. But if you have something that you can do that makes you feel good, if you can, you know, I know this is on the computer, but if you can shut the computer down and go do some family time stuff, if you like to read a book, if you like to do outside activities, whatever it is that makes your heart hum, that's what you need to do. That's what's important, and it keeps you grounded. And I'm a big supporter of meditating, and it really is your own way of meditating. I meditate by closing my eyes and meditating. Other people meditate by playing musical instruments. Other people meditate by traveling around and getting in touch with nature. People meditate by gardening. There's all sorts of doing puzzles, reading books. There's 1,000 things that you can do that make you happy, make you give out that positive energy, because everywhere she goes, she'd be radiating the positive energy, because she's appreciating everywhere she goes, because she knows she'll probably never go there again. Regardless of if she passes in 5 months, 5 years, 15 years, the reality is that she's doing a trip of a lifetime, and she may never do it again. So that's an awesome thing, and I thought, what a great story that is, and a great story to share, that 90 years old, it's all frame of mind. You know, I was at an event this afternoon that was in a nursing home, and we were sitting beside this woman, and we're all chatting and you know, watching this demonstration, and we're at this event, and there's a lovely lady beside us, and I don't look at people and necessarily think how old they are, but she was chatting away, and then she got up, and she had a walker, but she was very mobile, and she got up and she was working her way out of the room and talking to everybody and chatting and laughing, and a woman across from me says she's celebrating her 100th birthday this month. I thought, oh my gosh, she's 99. You know, it's mind over matter, right? She's in good health. She obviously looks after herself. She was very positive, very uplifting, and it was wonderful to see. And this is another thing, this Norma, she's wonderful to see. Now, they didn't have her last name in the article, but when you read the article, you can see near the bottom that they talk about a Facebook page that you can go to that's called Driving Miss Norma. So if you go and you like the page, then whenever there is updates on Norma and her travels and her adventure, they will be posting them on there, and they'll come up in your newsfeed, because we're surrounding ourselves with an environment for success, right? So I thought that was a great story. I'm so glad to be able to share it with you, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Still beautiful weather here. We had 2 weeks of winter or something, and now it seems like we're back to spring. Very happy about that. I always am, because it's the end of February. So thanks for tuning in, and next week we will regroup again, and we will share more positive stories. And if you want to look at our other episodes, because we're on, I think, episode 20 this week, you can go on Facebook and you can find them. You can find them on www.tvsn on video version, or on the radio show network, you can find them in audio version. So whatever at your convenience, go check them out, and you can always find me on Facebook. Thanks again. Have a great week. And remember, you're awesome, and do something for yourself, because you deserve it.